Now let's talk this through by speaking with the Vice President, Lekki Estates, Residents and Stakeholders Association, Architect Olusegun Fadiga. Thank you so much for joining us on TVC News.
Thank you very much for inviting me here.
Yes, you've really protested, against the action that is going on that particular road. At what stage are you now after the protest?
Well, at what stage are we now? Perhaps I need to put a bit of a perspective into it. Our major concern is the preservation of the right of way for the coastal road. The entire width of it and the entire length of it to be preserved so that whenever resources become available to build that road, it will be built to serve the area effectively. What we have observed is that the Lekki Peninsula axis, there has been several encroachments on rights of way for roads and drainages.
Encroachments by
whom? By various entities. I mean, all kinds of entities. There have been encroachments. We understand, listening to the Commissioner for Information, that the activity going on is part of efforts of the state government to have some placeholders in place so that the right of way can be preserved. That is commendable. However, we have some concerns. First, we had some months ago approached one of the agencies of government to say we are concerned about the fact that some sections there have been some encroachments, and that we went with a proposal that most of the estates adjoining that right of way were prepared, if permitted, to put resources in to landscape those areas and watch over them as a means of preserving the right of way. We got a response, but the response was more or less like such areas would be allocated for such activities for a consideration. Consideration, of course, that meant something financial. We were still trying to digest the impact of that when we understood about this activity.
Is what the commissioner, the Lagos State Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Mr. Gbenga Motosho, when he said that, that insinuation that the Lagos State government is not allocating it for development of permanent structures on the coastal road alignment, but then he's saying that it is done, there are temporary structures on the land to prevent miscreants from occupying it. And this is also some of your concerns too. You do not want miscreants to, to abound there. So do you not think what the government is doing in the meantime, before the construction of that coastal road, is something that is commendable?
Well, yes, we say it is commendable. However, there are a number of concerns. Concern number one, the area of that road right of way that has already been occupied by miscreants. We felt that would be the first area that would be the focus, to dislodge those miscreants and then put temporary occupants in those places. However, what we see is that the areas that are not under immediate threats, the areas that have not been encroached upon, are the ones that are being allocated. But we felt, our concern is that it should start from the areas that are already encroached upon, that those people should be dislodged, and then spaces allocated to persons known and who will definitely have temporary structures. Secondly, our concern is that one or two of those temporary structures in quotes, from what we see by the level of construction and investment put in there, they don't look like people who have a short-term allocation, because what we've seen
one of the structures that we saw in that report is something like a church that has a very many bricks and a tarpaulin over it. That's somewhat temporary. It doesn't
appear. Did you see that very well? Did you go into the premises? Did you see the total?
No, based on the picture that I saw.
Based on the picture.
Is from the area that you are.
The picture was a bit deceptive. It didn't capture the full extent and scope of what was going on that premises. Right. Our concern was the level of activity going on in there to say, it's welcome that you have known entities who have a clear understanding with the state on the piece of land, right, and knowing that they will leave. But our concern then becomes when what should be temporary, easily demountable structure, when you then begin to look at the level of, I'm a built environment professional, so I should be able to say, for what I see here, quite a few millions have gone into what is being set up here. And would these guys be happy to dismantle this in 12 months or 24 months?
And that might lead to them requesting for compensation as regards
the concern was just that we felt there are some other uses. You see, the concern
let me quickly
is not the allocation,
let me quickly
but some of the uses that may...
Right, let me quickly button because we are really, pressed for time because we'll soon end this interview. We have to go. But then in that report, you said something like, we are ready as a people who are directly affected by the development to cooperate with the government to ensure that the road is maintained and life is bearable for the people of Lekki. So how do you want this negotiation to go? Okay. What are the probable solutions that you want to proffer?
Well, we have a number of solutions, including even a PPP joint development proposal. You see, we are very fortunate within the network. We have more than 100 resident associations in our membership. And within that membership, you have all kinds of expertise, knowledge, and know-how. And quite a few studies have been done by our association. And we have some proposals that may even include a joint partnership developments to provide the right of way. Because we ultimately will be the beneficiaries. We want to have shorter journeys home from our place of work and going out for leisure. And of course, we also want to have safety. And this is why we're proposing that we can sit down. We have proposals. We have papers that we're ready to discuss with the states.
Absolutely. I'm afraid we have to go now. But then your point and also your complaints have actually been really laid bare, and I am so sure that the government will want to engage you on that. Vice President, Lekki Estate Resident and Stakeholders Association, Architect Olusegun Fadiga. Thank you so much for speaking.
Thank you very much, sir. Very grateful.